Alright guys, it's Beauty Queen. Today is a story time video. I have my puppy behind me. He's not meant to be inside, but for this video he can be. Because I wasn't going to make it outside, and I need him close. It's not about him. It's about losing a best friend. If I cry, I'm sorry, I can refill the waterworks. So, God, why am I doing this video? So the story time, if you've already looked down below, it's saying losing my best friend. So, what are you doing, Bubba? 2016. Actually, we'll go back to the beginning. Beginning of 2016, I still lived to 2015, but I went to a different school, 2015 to what I did last year, 2016. Where are you going, Bubba? Come here. Mommy's going to cry. I'll put you back outside. My best friend, when I was at a different school, she wasn't my best friend, I didn't even know her, was diagnosed with cancer. And she was in hospital. She had her muscle in the back of her leg moved to the front and had to have her bone replaced into the back for her kneecap. And yeah, so I met her in 2016 because I went to the school that she was going to, and she was fun, and we both had the same impression of each other, that we'll never be friends and that we'll both, that we'll preppy. She loves sport beforehand, guys. So, because she was in a wheelchair, she wasn't able to move as freely as she wanted to. She had to have people pushing her. There were these girls that were pushing her, and then they got bored of having to always look after her. You know, take her out to wash her hands, take her to the library, take her to class, try and go through the doors, you know. All of that sort of stuff. They just hated it. So, what? They decided, you know what? I'm just being identified as this person. I really find it funny. I'm going to help her, because she was like, literally, how am I going to go anywhere? It's still on me. I think it moved. So I decided, alright, I'm going to be an awesome person, and I'm going to help her. So I asked if it was fine, and she said yes. So I was pushing her around. I took her to the library to see her mum every morning tea and lunch. I would collect her from either her mum or her sister in the mornings, and I'd drop her off with her mum in the afternoons if she lasted the full day. Normally she didn't last, well, she did for a while, and I'd drop her off all the time to her mum in the library, and then I would go home. One time at lunch we actually started talking. Oh God, and it was hilarious because she loved cats and could sound like a cat, and I have cats. Essie is my cat, and then I had Rose at the time. And I was like, guys, I was 12 at this time. So we decided, you know, we're going to have some fun. I had a friend. I'm going to name this girl, the one in the wheelchair, my best friend. If her name comes up, I'm going to name her Kitty Cat. And this other girl who would hang out with us, we're going to name her Teddy Bear, because she's so small. Teddy Bear was always stalking me, hanging out with me when I didn't want her to, but we couldn't help it. And there was this other girl, Handbag. And Handbag, literally like this boy who is my best friend's cousin, we're going to call him Leaf. So, Handbag and Leaf had a crush on each other but wouldn't admit it. But Leaf always has crushes on every girl. Anyway, one day, she decided, you know what, come to my house. I went to her house, you know, I hung out, I stayed the night, and eventually I was staying nearly every weekend, and after school, basically every day, I was at their house. So, fast forward to around the end of the year, she got really sick. She got put on crutches, and her arm, like up in here, was getting so sore. She was struggling to walk on her crutches. I was always carrying her bag around for her. We were in an animal band too. I was the goat, and she was the cat, like we wanted. And she just stopped coming to school. She kept coming to school, but we were going like quite far outspaced. At that time, I had really hurt myself, so I wasn't doing PE when she was still in the wheelchair, so we bonded over that too, because I hate PE, and she loved it, but she had to hate it. But she got, sorry, I just sort of heard the dog steal up, but it wasn't. It started getting to the point where her arm was giving out on her. She had to leave quite early from school. She was falling behind. So I'd always go like talk about what was going on in school, whether after school I'd go to her house or on the weekends, and I'd sit down and I will help her catch up a bit, and we'd talk about what's going on and all the gossip and do all of that. And it was coming up to the time of her appointment to go up to Christchurch to make sure everything's going fine. And the doctors had put down her arm to muscle strain from not being able to use her arm normally because she was in the wheelchair, so she wasn't having to, and then having to go into putting weight onto them. They just classed it as muscle sprain. So they bumped up her appointment because it was getting close, and they went and gave her a scan. They found that there was cancerous cells not only in her leg, but in her arm, and a whole bunch of other places on her right side. I think it was her right side. And it got quite hard. She had to stay up in Christchurch. I made my grandma drive up to Christchurch to bloody go see her, and I think we were up there 3 days. Yeah, we were up there 3 days. I spent the afternoon of one of the days with her, and she said, I need to handcuff you to me so you can't leave. Because she didn't want me to leave. They had no like visiting hours, set visit times. You could just go visit whenever you needed to or wanted to, so we could have stayed. But Mum had booked us like backpackers accommodations, so we didn't. So it got to the point where we were like, what to do. So the next day, I spent the whole day with her. You know, her family was there. I'm just gonna lie down. Can you see me if I lie down? There. So we spent the next day together, and then I was going to come the next day, so I spent the whole morning with her, and then we left in the afternoon around lunchtime. And it was the hardest thing to see her in Christchurch. She was always sick, always throwing up. And it was just hard, because I think she had like the 2 or 3 rarest types of cancer, so it wasn't easy for her. Careful of the tripod. Come on. You want to come up here? And I'll bring you bone. Sammy just put up on my bed. because I have it in here. No, you don't want to come in here. Okay. Can't you can you thrown away? So it got to the point where I was a bit scared to leave her. They weren't going to take her home. They didn't know if they were going to take her back. And she's a really nice person. She'd already started bitching at the nurses, got really angry. Her whole mood switched. And it was hard for me, like, she was so happy. All the nurses knew who I was straight away because she'd been nagging to them about me. And how much she misses me and how I was coming up to stay with her for a few days. I was always left alone with her so that me and her could catch up. So when I'd put her to sleep by rubbing her back because she would always be sore, and if nurses were going to come check up her, they would always look through the window, and if she was asleep, they'd go away until she woke up. There was a couple that just barged on in that woke her up, but I was kind of, even though I wasn't getting to talk to her, I was still glad that I could be there with her. And my mum had said that if she can come back, they would take her, my mum would take me back up to see her. And it would be me and mum instead of me and grandma. So, fast forward a bit, I got home and I kept asking, when are we going to go see Chelsea? When are we going to see Chelsea? I'm just going to say no, I don't give a crap anymore. And she texted me saying she's coming down to the local hospital near us. She wasn't coming home, but she was coming to the hospital. So I went and visited her, and holy crap, it was so hard. I'd go there, and I was going there every second day to see her. Literally every second day, either my mum or my grandma would drive me into the hospital, an hour's drive. They would pick me up around lunchtime, which is like 1:20. They'll drive an hour to go see her. I would stay there until like 6 o'clock at night and then leave. And then I would repeat that 2 days later. Like, I wouldn't go the next day because I had to be at school, but then I'd be like the next day. And weekends, I would go the Friday and then go the Monday. So that, like, because I couldn't always go on the weekends because that was too much fuel. So I'd go through the week, and then some weeks ends I'd just go there. Like, some weekends I'd go like on the Sunday, and then it'd be Tuesday, and then it'll be, yeah. So some days I was on the weekends, other days I wasn't. But mostly it was every 2 days. And holy crap, guys, she was in the hospital close hours away from where I live and where she lives. She was throwing up blood. She was getting worse. It had spread through her body. It was just waiting to come and kill her, basically. And it was just a waiting game. Like, I would go in and spend time with her, and I'd see her get worse. And I just wish I could swap places with her. Come here, Bella. I just wish I could switch places with her. I wish... Oh, God. No biting, honey. I wish I could... You know, that she wouldn't be suffering. For a 14-year-old girl, she should not be suffering that much. She got switched over to the other mini hospital, but that's got better service there and bigger rooms and stuff. And I'd still go visit her there. And eventually got quite weird. Well, not weird, but difficult, because she stopped moving a lot more. She stopped talking. she would just lie there, and even though she was trying to get words out, she just couldn't talk. Yeah, she just couldn't talk at all, and it was hard because, like, I was saying stuff to her and she would understand. She tried to talk and I wouldn't understand. She'd be in pain all the time, and it was just hard to see my best friend like that. Fast forward to right before she died. I went and visited her on the Friday. Hey. And it was different. She wasn't very well at all. I could tell that she was almost at the end. She was almost ready to be taken. It was basically a Wayne game the whole time, but it was like, you know, doesn't matter. I see a dog. Just that this car coming up. So I got quite scared. I had this feeling on the Sunday morning to go see her, because I know I was going to be seeing her on the Monday, so it wouldn't matter. Ow! No biting! So it wouldn't matter. You know, I'll just see her on Monday and see how she's going. Shush! So I get a call. Oh, not a call, but I'm on Facebook, and so is my mum, and my mum gets a message from her boss saying, "I'm so sorry, my thoughts are with Phoebe." And Mum's like, "What?" And she's like, "Phoebe, go check." So there was a Facebook page, I couldn't find anything on there. Her mum was offline and stuff, and it was her, I think it was on her page that I found it, from her brother, saying, "Fly high, little sis." And I'm like, oh my god, she's dead. And I just broke down. I messaged her mum, and her mum said, "Yeah, come into town." Because I was allowed to go stay with them. So my grandma took me in, and we did get a call saying that she had died. There was my teacher was going through and calling people for the family. So I got in there, and she's lying down, and she looked just like she's asleep. And oh my god, I've got my dog cuddling up to my leg. So I leave at night at about 1 o'clock. This was like when all the earthquakes were going, guys. And she died. I don't remember the time. She died the 13th of November 2016 at, I think it was about 7:30. It was either 7 or 8:30. 7:30 or 8:30. I can't remember the exact time. I think I got in there at 9:30, but I didn't find out. So yeah, she died at like 7:30. And I don't know. Her funeral was the Thursday, and it's been so long. I think it's been like 9 weeks. Yeah, I think it's been like 9 weeks, guys. Saviour was some age to remember. We actually went and saw him when I found out, but he was too young to remember that. Actually, probably you were too young to remember. Because he was born on the 3rd of November, and she died on the 13th. So he was what, 10 days old? I just still don't comprehend things like her mum and parents still post in her on her page, and I see all these notifications, and I'm like, just start bursting out crying, bawling my eyes out. I just can't get over it. Afterwards, I didn't go back to school for a couple of weeks. I think I was off school for a week and a few days. And I got back to school, and I was barely at school. And it would only last a few hours. I'd only last a few hours each day. And my teachers kept getting angry at me, but I just couldn't. And then school ended, and I only lasted I think I only went to school for 2 full days out of the whole year. Well, not for the whole year, but for the whole time after she died. 2 full days. Alright guys. So he was trying to eat my bill. I'll see you guys later. Bye.